so that all of the rest of the students who could not attend for whatever reason will have access to the same information. I will put up the PowerPoint as well. I'm going to move on from this slide. We sort of have an idea of what this is. As final year students, I'm going to be saying things that you already know. You know you have a tutorial letter 101. You get a tutorial letter 102. And of course, there's the study guide. What is very important for you guys is that in the 102, we do have very important information. The reason being that the textbook was written in 2013, and there have been a lot of legislative changes. So all of those updates you will find in the 102. You will also find, of course, outlines, the learning units, information on how to prepare for the exam. The 103 will be of course, the prescribed sources. You can get these from e-reserves. This module has a study guide, which is a very excellent sort of path for you to follow. It is not the only thing you will need, though. You have to get the textbook, Reneke, Nikak, and Inaber. It is a 2013 book. We have, of course, provided a lot of the additional resources you need in 102. And please read the cases and articles that are prescribed to you. Those are all incredibly important. So the teaching platform that we use and that you've used, at least I think all of us have used properly since last term, is the My Module platform. You will find a lot of tools on there. Of course, there's a welcome note, which gives you information about ourselves and a little bit about the subject. You get announced, and you then have different folders. You'll have an announcement folder in which you'll find all the announcements. You'll have a discussion platform. You will have, and each one of these has a different purpose. Announcements, you'll see I've posted, I think up to now, I posted the third announcement this morning, which was to extend the deadline for assignment 1. So please note that. It is now the 26th of August. And the discussion forums, that's where we will put up all the feedback on assignments and those sort of things. Of course, I think there is a place for you guys also to have your own discussions there, which is monitored. Just again, background, there are 2 assignments and a portfolio exam. It is a take-home exam. It is a 4-hour take-home exam. So it's not something that you will have like a whole week to do. It's just 4 hours. So it basically almost recreates a situation of an exam. So the 2 assignments are weighted 20%. The exam is 80. The assignment questions, both of them have been uploaded. We would ideally like you to attempt both of them and answer them. What is essential is that you get practice answering questions. And of course, it forces you to actually look for information, to read cases, to relook at the textbook. It is a way of interacting with the material. And that 20% could count for a pass or fail. So I strongly suggest you attempt both of them. The first one is a essay type question. The second one is composed of 2 problem type questions. I stand to be corrected, but so it's to give you 2 different kinds of skills, both of which you will need in the exam. So it's practice for the exam as well. So there's a whole purpose behind these things. So what is insurance law? So what we're trying to do is for you guys to understand the framework in which the contract of insurance exists. There's a legislative framework in which it exists. And also then understand the contract itself and the responsibilities, the duties and benefits that come from that. So you have to understand all of that. Of course, we can't do that without giving the historical perspective. Insurance is a concept, or it is a contract that we've gotten from Roman Dutch law. So there's that historical perspective. We've had um, English law influences. We now have a constitution. How do all of these things interact? There's the actual, content of the contract. What does it mean? How is an insurance contract different from other contracts? Can what are the necessary things you need for a contract to come into being? And then all of those specific things get discussed in very great detail. Of course, when we are talking about all of these things, we have to keep in mind that there were things in place, and there are currently other things in place that sort of serve the same purpose that insurance does. You've got, things like funeral homes that provide certain services that you all pay into, that people will pay into, so that at the end of the day, the burden of that does not fall upon the family. It's just, then there are comparison to be made between that and, let's say, an insurance, life insurance. So those are all things that need to be kept in mind. It's a contract that evolves according to society's needs and has evolved. And of course, there is a legislative framework created to protect consumers, to protect also the insurers and the insured. So that balancing exercise has to be done all the time. So just, you have, please look at tutorial 102 in great detail. We have 15 learning units. I know it's seems to seem to be a lot. I should have said highlight, and I seem to have taken a bit of a break there. So we have the legislative framework, the parties to the contract, the actual content of the contract, and how does it get enforced, determinations and interpretation. These are just to highlight a few of the things. So it is a very wide module, but we are not going into immense depth. We do that at master's level. At that level, then we really start going deep and discussing things and concept in greater depth. This is to make sure that when you leave, you sort of have a incredibly wide understanding of all the things that are linked to insurance law. I'm going to stop there for a moment. Are there any questions before I go on? In fact, I'm going to stop here, and I wanted to just show one thing, and that is I wanted to show you guys where e-reserves are. I know I'm probably talking to everyone that already knows, but just to know. So if you can everyone see my screen right now? I'm on the UNISA library site. This is the front page that you will see. Here you will see find e-reserves and recommended books. And what you do there is you put in LML 4805. You go there and there you go. You get the e-reserves. Just remember to use the right year. So 2022. You click on it and you will get all of the cases and the prescribed articles. For example, for this one, the infusion of insurance with fairness into the draft policy holder protection rules. So all of these, you will find them. Do you always get something out? It's an excellent article. Or I will ask you guys to make sure that you read all of these. You will see I see questions in. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my PowerPoint.
Maybe whilst you're sharing, if I can
Sure.
just say one or two things.
Yeah.
I think thank you for showing the library webpage and how to get there, because in the past we've had students saying that they did not know where to get the cases or the articles that are prescribed, and therefore they did not read the cases. I just want to encourage the students to go and download the cases and the articles, because you're going to be guaranteed in the exam. We're going to ask you about those articles, we're going to ask you about those cases, and it's going to be very difficult to answer the questions if you have not read them. And I must also just say, just as a way of background as well, that insurance law is a bit specialized. It's a specialized subject, and you really need to understand what's happening. So if you don't read some of the cases and articles, or even the textbook that is prescribed, you might fall behind and you think that maybe you understand. But I just want to encourage the students that they really need to understand the subject, because it's specialized. We are here if you have any questions. Make use of us, send us emails. You can call us on Teams. You can reach out. We're here to help. But I think, I mean, you're in 4th year now, and you would understand that as UNISA, as a distance learning, you have to do most of the work by yourself. But also just start now to prepare for the exam, even if you don't know when the exam is. So because the semester can be very short, and what you might need to learn can be a lot. Thank you.
No, thank you, Edith. And I think it always seems like you have time, but it's not the case. And you, as Edith says, you are guaranteed we will ask you about, the cases or the articles, or in fact, thank you. What is very, very quite important is that we need for you to be able to footnote to support your arguments, and to do that you have to reference case law and articles. So it's about supporting your own argument. Is there any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, you're speaking to Tsepo.
Hi, Tsepo. Sorry I made you run away earlier.
Yes. Can I please ask, as
Yes.
Edith indicated that what you just shared now, those articles and how to the cases you are referring to on the library. I understand that you were demonstrating, you shared something on the screen.
Yeah.
So for me as a blind person, I'm blind, by the way. I couldn't see those things. So I'm asking, in order for me to benefit as well, can you please, next time when you do such lectures, please try to explain. Don't understand, everybody can see, but for my benefit as well. Because if you say you click here, you go there, here you can see the list. I can't see that.
No, I understand. In fact, let me go through it again. I'm happy
So
to
no,
do
actually, my thing, I understand what you are using now. It's a PowerPoint slide. I was asking if is it possible maybe to share afterwards so that I can.
I will be sharing it, and they all have transcripts. So you and you, it should therefore also be able for you to for it. I wonder if there's a way that we can have it read out to you. I'll just figure out.
If it's typed,
yes, it is.
I will be able to read it.
Excellent.
My laptop will be able to read it from.
Brilliant. No, that's great. I'm really happy.
All right.
Would you like me to go through the library website again?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Great. So if I may, I'm just gonna go step by step. If you go to the library website, you have to move the page a little bit further down. You have two big blocks that come up. One says library services. The other one says search the library. If you go on to that, on the third point there is find e-reserves and recommended books. You will click it and a page opens up where there's a box and you have to write in your module code, which is LML4805 with no spaces. You click the submit button or press enter, and you will find that it comes up with 3 courses. It gives you the electronic reserves for 2021, for 2022, and then it says prescribed books. So if you look under electronic reserves, you click on it, it will open up and it will give you all the cases and articles. If you go to number 3, which is the prescribed books, it gives you the book. And if you click on that, it gives you the details of the book and which libraries you can go to, which UNISA libraries you can go to get the book, to be able to at least be able to get a physical copy of it. Of course, a physical copy is not necessarily the most helpful to you. I don't know if there's an electronic copy. Edith, do you think there's an electronic copy of this?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But the library also have library trainings where they also explain how to get the articles, how to get the cases. Maybe let me just say, Tsepo, thank you for coming forward, and just to encourage all the other students, because we were not aware that we are sitting with a student who does not see. Please reach out to us if you've got any form of disability and you need help or you need assistance with something. Then we will be able to help. Instead of reaching out to the Center for Disability, just reach out to us and then we can take it from there. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's something I think they are coming up with the new updated book. So maybe I'll bring it to their attention that they need to make sure that it is accessible. Okay, so the second part of this presentation, I wanted to just talk to the assignment. And I will not be dealing with the exact content of the assignment because I think that's not the purpose of this. I do think that it's very important that you understand in the 102, we say you must study or read certain cases and articles and so forth. So there are parts where it says study and some parts where it says read. The difference between both of those is that read is just as if you would be reading any book. Where we say study, we mean that you need to be able to, you need to read it, possibly make notes, and then be able to explain it back. Even with read, you have to at least have that information. But with study, we need a much more deeper understanding that we see in your answers. So the first thing I think, of course, to highlight is that the deadline for assignment 1 has been extended to the 26th of August. The reason being that we were alerted that some students did have some difficulty getting the textbook. And we are doing it just to be nice. So the assignment talks to the Constitution of South Africa and how it has impacted insurance law. Of course, we understand that the Constitution, being the supreme law, would affect all aspects of law. But you'll see that in your textbook, there is a discussion specifically that talks to how it is impacting insurance law. And I'm not going to go into that because that is the question. You are meant to tell us. So what I want you to understand is with an assignment like this, we expect you to write out a paper. I think the length is maximum 3 pages if it's typed, maximum 4 pages if it is not. But it has to be a well thought out paper with your arguments that are supported by authority. You may use examples to illustrate a point. For this, you have to really read the textbook. You have to read what's in, there are references to cases and so forth. So read those. Read that in a little bit of detail when you are talking about it. But we want you to always start with any of these questions with your study guide and then your textbook and then cases and articles that may be prescribed. So all of that you have to do for an assignment or a question such as this. It is 10 marks, so we will be expecting some level of detail. Now, the next few slides are going to be about this issue, and this is an essential thing to discuss at this point in your final year, but I mean, it's something that I'm hoping has been drummed into you for the last 3 years. Plagiarism is academic dishonesty. It is seen as, academic dishonesty and can have very strong negative consequences. What we expect is for you to show us your understanding. And if you just copy from somewhere, a textbook or wherever else, and write something out, you are not showing us your understanding. You are showing what somebody else wrote about it. So just remember that. So it is poor writing practice with an element of dishonesty. Now, it can be done by mistake. We understand that. I mean, we've all, even I have to go back and read my own things and go, okay, did I make sure that I've referenced the right people? Am I writing what I understand what this person is trying to say? You have to question yourself. We all do this. We have to be very careful at all levels. What we also check is that not only for badly copying, but also where students are working together and they hand in the same thing, or incredibly similar things. That is also problematic. So always remember to tell us in your specific words what you are doing. Just want to emphasize again, it's taking the words, ideas of thoughts and presenting them as your own. So you please don't cut and paste. Yes. Don't include incorrect references. And I will say this, and Edith, you can tell me if I'm on the right or wrong track. Please don't go online and read some lawyer's idea of something who has just written a blog. Those are not peer reviewed. They are not, academic writing. Please, those are not academic writing. Please don't use them as sources. A lot of them, and a good lawyer has a lot of confidence in their abilities, but I wouldn't necessarily always trust them. And that includes myself. So we assess you on your level of understanding of the legal principles and how you apply it. So don't copy and paste, not even from the study guide, not even from the textbook, please. So we will have we will definitely have another class on assignment 2, which is on problem type questions, and we will go into a lot of detail on how to approach those. But as I said, and we will continuously communicate with you with regard to the upcoming classes. I just want to go back to this Remember, always start with the study guide, read the textbook, go to cases and articles if applicable, and then write in your own words your understanding. Make sure there's logic in your writing. There should be that, what is that wonderful expression my old professors used to say, that you need a golden thread that runs through your paper, that sort of guides the reader through. I'm going to stop here. Are there any questions? I see Shirley's hand is up. Go ahead, Shirley.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I just wanted to ask in regards to referencing the test book, right? Because I'm sure you've noticed that nowadays everything is soft copies, and soft copies literally clash with hard copies. For example, maybe the test book, the hard copy, what I reference is page 5, but in the soft soft copy is page 9. Isn't that going to be considered as incorrect referencing?
You'll see this specific textbook has the added benefit of having paragraph numbers. So I would stick with paragraph numbers if that is the case. I'm not quite sure it is, but if that is the case, I would stick with the paragraph numbers. And if you've got that right, that's fine. And generally, I would go for what is in the hard copy, because that is what myself and Edith are looking at.
Oh my God, because it's hard to get hard copies now. Like
Okay,
most of us now.
but as it does have paragraph numbers, yes?
Okay,
So you
then
should be fine.
okay,
As
then
long
it's
as you have
cool.
the right paragraph numbers.
Not a
You'll
problem.
see in my slide as well, I mentioned the paragraph number
Yeah,
because
I
it's
know.
easier to it's easier to give that information to you. KS Nama, yes?
Okay. Sorry,
Yes,
maybe before you
sure,
move to the next
sure.
question, Shirley, if you are referring to the prescribed textbook, it does not have a soft copy. It only has a hard copy. It's only the other textbooks that are coming after this prescribed textbook that are going to come with a soft copy as well. So I'm not sure the soft copies you are referring to, which soft copies. So we will.
I was just sitting and Googling because I didn't know there was one. I'm just gonna
There
Google.
is no soft copy
Maybe
for
there's a
this textbook. Maybe somebody photocopied and it's circulating around. I've seen that
that's what
happening.
I'm thinking as well.
Yes, so if that is the case, I think rather stick to the paragraph numbers, but also the page numbers should remain the same because the book is paged. It has page numbers, so the page numbers should actually not change, even if it's a soft copy. But just to caution you that it's not an official textbook if you've got a soft copy of the prescribed textbook.
Oh, okay, not a problem. And thank you so much.
Sure. Go ahead, Miss Nama.
Thank you. I just wanted to
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna just correct. Edith, I see on the LexisNexis website there's an ebook from July 1st, 2016.
For the prescribed textbook?
Yes, on their
Oh.
website.
Oh,
And it's
I'm
the
sorry.
same price as the physical copy. They are both incredibly expensive. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry because they never alerted us
They
that
never told
the book,
us.
yes,
Oh
that
my
the book.
goodness.
Apologies for that.
Okay, you know what?
Apologies.
I'm gonna have to ask them for that soft copy so I can check the pages now.
Yes, I think we'll have to do that.
Oh my
Apologies for that.
goodness.
We were not aware. I was seriously not aware because the last time we spoke to LexisNexis, they said they will only make a soft copy for the new textbook that is incoming.
Exactly. I remember
Yeah,
that meeting.
yeah.
Goodness, Miss
Apologies for
Nama.
that.
Miss
thank you,
Nama.
Thank you, Ms. Rafia. I just wanted to find out because tutorial letter 3002 does not make any references as to how to write down a paragraph number, but we know how to write the page.
Yeah.
Is it we're not also supposed to write page and you write the number, you just write the
You can,
a number. So can you
yeah,
just say para and the number, or
yeah,
are you
yeah.
gonna
You,
assume it's a paragraph number?
PAR, if I may, I'm just going to say it out loud while it's being recorded. So either PAR and the number of the paragraph, or para, PARA, and then the number. Either one, as long as I can sort of go there and say, you are referring to the right thing.
Okay. And also,
Yeah, it
I'm
wouldn't be
listening
right
to
to
you.
be so pedantic, not within an
Okay.
assignment.
Okay. I just hope that you will get back to us regarding the electronic book, because we majority of us are using the electronic textbook, and so maybe if the numbering is different, we'd really appreciate it if you get
Yeah,
back to us
no,
as to
I'll
how
come
you
back.
will.
I'll make an announcement actually. Then
Thank you
if
so
the
much.
thing is that Edith, maybe perhaps what we need is for LexisNexis to give us the soft copy, and then we rely on the page numbers of that if they are different, which they should not be. They should not be. That makes no sense that they would be different.
Maybe whilst we are waiting to hear from LexisNexis for in case we don't get an answer, or we don't get hold of the soft copy before they submit their assignment, it will just be safe for you to just refer to the paragraph numbers,
Exactly.
so that we are also not confused when we look at our
Yeah.
hard copy. But after this meeting, we are going to contact LexisNexis guys so that they can also help us.
Shirley?
Oh, okay. Is it fine if we send you the ebook that we have now, the soft copy that we have for the
No. We want the official one from them, because they are the ones. Also, because it's a point of principle. They cannot tell us one thing and then still have it available. It's
okay. Because now
we are trying. No, I'm just going to make an announcement saying refer to the paragraphs in these two ways, and that's it. So then everyone will know that they just need to refer to paragraphs, and these are the two ways, and that's it. It'll make everybody's life easier, so that no one has to worry about pages. But for myself, I know I want to get a copy from them because it's a point of principle.
Because now we're panicking. We don't know. We have.
No, you don't need to panic. No panicking needed at all.
Okay.
But
We're gonna be calm.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Besides also what you just explained about LexisNexis, there is also issues of copyright as well. I'm not sure when you bought because they are very strict also when it comes to ebooks. The issue of copyright, then you cannot just distribute it without their permission. So
we wouldn't want you to break the law.
Yes, we wouldn't want you to break the copyright laws. We will just get it officially from them, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, cool. As
long as the fair use exception for copyright only applies to a portion of the document, not the full thing. Please, as all students, remember that. It's very important.
So yes, so
don't be sharing things fully.
The whole textbook, because then it will be unfair.
Okay, cool then.
The new copyright law should change that. Any questions other than this? I'm going to make an announcement right now. As soon as this class is finished, I'll make the announcement. No worries. Anyone else? Yeah. Go ahead.
Just emphasize on some of the things that you have already said.
Please do.
About the assignment. So I'm not sure if other students have already started trying to answer the question or the assignments. But what I just want to emphasize is that please understand the question before you answer it. Then it becomes easier for you even when you go and read the textbook, or even when you go and read all the sources that may be required to answer the assignment. If you understand exactly what the question is requiring from you, then it will become easier to also avoid giving irrelevant information avoid answering things that are not asked and answer exactly what is required in the question. So if you don't understand the question, then it will be very difficult also, that even for other questions in the exam or for your second assignment as well. As long as you don't understand the question, then it will be very difficult for you to give the correct or an adequate answer for that for that question. Thank you.
And I think this is the thing. I mean, you have to be very specific. You have a page limit, you have a time limit, you have other things that you are doing in your life. You have to be very efficient in your studying, as far as you are able to. So please make sure that you use your time very well. And I would really ask you to please start studying from the start of the term. To, don't study for an assignment, don't study for the exam. Study the subject. That is how you will get to know the subject. You will see that in the tutorial letters we do say, you have to engage with the material, and the reason we say that is that to really understand what is insurance law, you will have to spend a certain amount of time actually reading the cases, the articles, the textbook, and so forth. Yeah. Any other questions? None. So we are then, I think, yeah, we've finished a little bit early. We've gotten to know each other. And also you can, of course, always email myself and Miss Miriri if you have substantive questions about insurance law. A lot of the administrative things you'll see in your tutorial letters, letter 101, we specifically point to other departments that are there to answer those. We cannot always be of help. But I'll say again, thank you to everyone for coming. Thank you, Tsepo, for bringing up a very vital point. And I appreciate that. And thank you for the questions and for the interaction. Have a good afternoon. Edith?
Thank you. Nothing from my side, just to thank you and to wish you the best in the course and also for the upcoming assignment.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you. And